Presbyter King coming to you from Mount Shiloh, the Shepherd's Way and Nugget of Truth. This is going to be part 4 of Luminosity of True Christianity. Now, the first messages I've given are foundational. They establish the human experience, what we're made of. We talked about we have emotions, we have a brain that mentally functions, so we have a mental body, we have an emotional body, we have a biological being, and we have 5 senses. And I talked about how those affect our perception and our experience in this dimension, 3 dimensions: space, time, and matter. We could call it 1 if we take them all together, but we're experiencing space, time, and matter. Now, there's another factor involved with just our 5 senses that affects the way we perceive things. Now, if we look at anciently Socrates, he was the first philosopher from the West to suggest that not only do we have these 5 senses that we can't trust because we live in a fallen matrix, but he said that we're born with a complete and sufficient knowledge that comes from our psyche or our soul. The Bible was written in Greek in the New Testament, and Paul calls the soul the psyche. That means our soul. And we call that our gifted personality. So we're all born with our own individual soul and our own senses. And so the idea is that knowledge is susceptible to deception with just our 5 objective faculties. And Socrates suggested that true knowledge comes from a deeper level of the soul, an experiential knowledge. Now, people that believe in reincarnation teach that our soul has gone through all these different lives and has received all this different knowledge. And that's the imagination trying to interpret a fact. Now, we here at the Ancient Antiochian Church of God, from a Christian perspective, know that our biological beings have recorded in the DNA certain fears, certain anxieties handed down by our ancestors that are recorded in our psyche, our soul. We would call that the personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. Now, our personal unconscious also contains experiences that we've had from childhood, certain things that have scared us, certain experiences that were bad experiences, and when we grow up, those get put in the collective personal unconscious. So they're still there. We repress them, but those also affect every decision that we make. Then we could say we have what is called the collective unconscious, and that means that there's a lot of stuff in the matrix that humans share consciously. And just because the imagination may go back and we're reading a book, say, about Christopher Columbus or something, and we're reading it and we begin to close our eyes and have those same emotions and experiences and all of this, and some people attribute that, so I must have been Christopher Columbus in my past life. And people do this. So you have people that claim they were King Tut, and you have millions of people claiming they were King Tut in a past life, and that means there was millions of King Tuts. No. This is your collective conscience and your collective unconscious and personal experiences that allow for the imagination to develop these theories and themes. Now, as Christians, we're not to trust any of these senses ultimately. We're to use them. They're gifted gifts from God, but we're to prioritize them and go back to sola scriptura, the Bible, the Word of God, in our living personal relationship with Christ to properly come out of the fallen matrix and not be deceived by these senses that we have. We thank God for them. They're good when they're used correctly. So this is part 4 of Christian Illuminosity, and I want you to continue your studies here. Watch these as many times as you need to and share them with friends. We're going to go deeper. We're going to get into some serious Bible lessons coming up, and I want you to stay tuned.